We got some games here. I was looking at our schedule. It just kind of hit me how much better our competition is now. It's like with the changes to the conferences, Big Ten is now a Conference 9 prestige. 16 different members, 4 different divisions. We got in the same, what is this called, division, we have number 2 Clemson, who will play after TCU, after Northwestern. But even Northwestern, they're 3-0 right now. Just taking a look at how they look. All right, they've had an easy schedule most likely. Yeah, they played Ohio. Kennesaw State, like a bad ripoff of Kentucky and Tennessee or something. But yeah, let's go back to the schedule real quick. Northwestern, we should destroy. Clemson number 2 though is obviously a huge game. I kind of want to get to that quick, so we'll probably do some sims here, and then look at some other stuff. And then Wisconsin number 19 after the bye week. And then number 8 Michigan week 11 and our rivalry game week 13. We'll still treat Michigan like shit though. Don't worry about that. First, TCU, Texas Christian University. Remember when I first heard about this team? So my background's mostly in the NFL. When I first heard about this team, I thought this was a joke. The TCU was ranked number 5 maybe in the last 2 years. Maybe ranked number 3 in the nation. But in any case, up against a pass first team, we can throw on them like it's nothing based on the stats here. And then when it comes to what we want to stop, what I'm looking at is probably just the short pass. Let's check out what else they got. We got a deep threat. How good's their quarterback's arm strength? Pretty good. So yeah, we'll take out then is, if I remember correctly, we're even at receiver. So we might actually just go for running. They're still not rated very well. Neither are we, to be fair. Let's do downfield passing, and then we're matching. It's 3 weeks straight where the focus has been the same thing as what we're doing against them. We'll do aggressive man. We're going to sim this. I do want to check on recruiting real quick, though. No commit soons yet. Okay. This is also, I'm curious about our depth chart. What do we have in right now? We should have all the starters in. We do. And this is probably fine. Yeah, let's stay this way. Our work rates are even actually kind of skewed to take this quite seriously. With our better players getting more playtime, just for higher work rates. Miss a field goal taken from midfield. That really hurts. It was a terrible play call. Some big gains. I need to scroll down a little bit so we see who's making these big plays. Missed field goal by them. Lots of throwing, but it doesn't matter because we're driving. Another touchdown in the second. Huge play. Fumble by TCU. We miss a field goal to put us up more. It's 28-7 though. Interception. So defense making some big plays, a fumble and a interception already. Third quarter now. We pounded in. Actually, I don't know if I can even say we pounded in. That was a huge throw, I'm pretty sure. We missed the field goal though. Interception for a touchdown. Alright, so it's just a blowout. This is versus the number 24 team at their home. And this is the kind of result we get. So I'm feeling confident about making some some loose starts here for the Northwestern game, or at least reducing the work rates that we have set currently for our starting core. Turnover on downs. So one thing I was kind of looking for was just to see if our quarterback would throw a pick. He did not. So Burke has a great game, 3 touchdowns, 13 yards per average. Obviously the focus that we went for with passing worked. I would say the same thing about Padilla. Only 5 yards per attempt. Our run game was also really healthy. Curtis is quietly probably the best, most effective runner. Might swap around the depth chart there. Jacobs and Fisher with big gains. I think that's the second time that I've mentioned the pair. Let's see, 3 sacks. One for Ewing, another one for Cantrell. I think he's a depth player if I'm remembering correctly. Yep. Cantrell 2 tackles for a loss too. And Ewing with a tackle for a loss and a sack. Let's see, forced fumbles come from Simpson, who is our second string, I think. And then Pedro Moro. I believe we have 3 cornerbacks, or actually it's 3 safeties and 2 cornerbacks who are in contest for their respective position, like top in their respective position. And then Zamora got the interception, a forced fumble, and a touchdown. That has to be, sort of the best result you can ask for from a cornerback. And Santos got 3 pass deflections. So let's finish the game. I'm thinking we'll move Curtis up at least a spot. Right now, all of our running backs are just getting fresh work rates. So Alston is injured, and we have an injury to Lewis. Let's give Alden a little bump. Murphy's going to be in because he's our third down back through and through. I think we might even put him above French. Only reason why I don't want to do that is because of ball security. So I'm going to move them back down. Jacobs at number 1, Fisher at number 2. No change needed there. What do we look like with Anderson? See, one thing I'm thinking about is I actually think Francisco Parsons is a better player. So I think he gets a start. Make a swap here, more because of the injury than anything. No changes, I don't think, when it comes to defensive line. Cantrell did have a big gain, but against lesser opponents. At cornerback, Alston could move down. I think at the very least, let's just swap it to standard since he's injured, and Pedro stays at a workhorse rate. And then I like what we got going on here. Saha, when he's healthy, will probably go back to standard because he's been playing out of his mind. He's actually, 3 safeties. You only really start 2 on the field. And yeah. Forgot about us playing against Northwestern. So, obviously we'll play the game. One thing I should probably have done last week, actually, is think about visits. So we'll do that now. Let's schedule some for Wisconsin. I don't actually know this guy's ability. Now we do. Be kind of silly to pursue him since we haven't really tried. Maybe we'll put him for UCLA. But we're not really trying to go for either of these players. So let's cancel this visit as well. A little jumpy, I guess. Maybe just set this for, I don't know, Buffalo. Shouldn't really matter. Because like I said, we're probably not getting those players. On potential, we'll definitely schedule for Wisconsin, anyone that we can at this point. Wisconsin does look good, which is what we were worried about not being true. I guess we'll wait later for whether they schedule UCLA or Cincinnati. Or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll base it more off of... I think we just slot these players in. This Buffalo's not going to be good. UCLA doesn't look terrible. Got a good offense. In Cincinnati. Have we done this already? Look pretty run of the mill. I think there's a higher chance that UCLA game becomes ranked. Kind of like these players who aren't giving me an option. Makes my decision really easy. Let's see. So we'll just fill out our schedule visits. Just finishing this out. Okay. Let's go back to commits. I think we're good. So, Northwestern. I guess one thing we should also double check, just to make sure that there isn't some ridiculous points ahead. Of course not. For this game, the way to attack Northwestern looks like also through the air. You can go for the deep ball. They've actually got a pretty decent defense, it looks like, but they've been versing worse opponents. I keep reversing these, so actually probably easier to run the ball. Okay. And I might just go for the pass. Maybe better look at the roster. And then what they want to do is run the ball. So they are a run first team. Not much of a surprise. Got a run stopper, 2 run stoppers of players of note. We can look at these stats here. One decent safety, 3 decent cornerbacks, not great linebackers. Good defensive line, or 1 good defensive lineman at least. Depends if they're 3-4 or 4-3. I don't think I've seen enough to sway me off of focusing on the run and stopping the run, though. One check I might have wanted to make is that this guy's a dual threat. He is. He's averaging only 3.8 yards a carry. So let's just hope that we can get it done versus the running back. So a focus of running. Get a quick 3 and out. Kind of take a step back and then advance. Able to make a field goal. So we're up. Now we're driving steadily. Looks like we're really leaning on that run game. Averaging 2.1 yards a carry, however. Passing yards per attempt is also not very good. Interception, I guess I missed a safety too. I was looking at the stats on the right-hand side. It's a very defensive game. We've already hit the half, and we're only up by 8 at home against Northwestern. They make a field goal. So getting a touchdown here would be huge. We're able to get a touchdown, 15-3. Northwestern somehow proving to be the most difficult team we've played in the 2-game stretch. We miss a field goal. Wish we could change how often we throw an interception. Are we going to lose? It's 17-22. We score a field goal. Final 25-17. Kind of an ugly game, though. 1 pick for Burke. French was the best runner and somehow managed to get 17 carries despite being behind on the depth chart now, I think. Jacobs and Fisher both with a buck. Baldwin with a sack. We haven't mentioned his name before. And 4 tackles for a loss. That's worth a promotion of some sort. Quite a few tackles for a loss, but I guess actually, 11 seems like a lot to me, but they were also able to do 11. Kind of a weird game. Northwestern at Ohio State, keeping it pretty close. Unexpected. Within 8. We'll move on to the more important game, which is versus Clemson. Shouldn't say more important, but the ranked game. Of course, each game of equal value.